Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome to my first reaction to episode 16 of Death Note. I just want to do a quick apology. I am super behind with filming Death Note. We had technical difficulties, then Christmas. I was seeing friends, I was seeing family. I've been super, super busy. So I was a bit behind. I'm trying to play catch up. So I do apologize that there were quite a lot of Attack on Titan videos that came out this week and not a lot of Death Note videos came out this week. It's just been a hectic time, and I'm preparing to go back into full-time work after being out of my job in August, which means recording will slow down and editing will slow down. Everything's going to slow down. So I will not be going anywhere. I will stress that here and now. My content is not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. It just means that there's going to be 4 videos a week on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday because it's more manageable because I do everything myself. I edit, I film, I upload everything onto YouTube. It's a lot of work, especially when I'm going to be doing a full-time job on top of this. So yes, please do forgive me that things are a little bit slower, that filming is a little bit slower. I'm doing my absolute best to stay on top of things. And it just kind of is what it is, you know. It's not ideal, but it's fine because I can only do what I can do and it's not life or death. It just means things are a little bit delayed. I appreciate your patience during this time. Again, I'm not going anywhere. The videos are not going anywhere. It just means there's a bit more of a gap between videos. Instead of posting every day, 6 days a week, it's going to be like 4 videos a week. So kind of have to do what works best for me, because if I continue the way I was going, I was going to burn out, and it's not healthy and it's not fun, because not only will I just not end up watching the shows, I also won't be able to post content. And I like posting content. I like being able to interact with you all. I like being able to hang out with you all. It's so much fun. That is why there was a delay, because I had a few comments on my Attack on Titan videos being like, where's Death Note? And it's like, it's coming. I just haven't recorded it. I'm a bit behind. My goal is to try and get a backlog with Death Note. It's just difficult to do because trying to find the time to sit down and record has become more difficult, getting ready for my full-time job, but also with the holidays and seeing family, seeing friends, it's been very hectic. And by the time I've got home, I'm too tired and I don't want to record. It's okay. We'll get there eventually. It's all a learning curve. I mean, this channel is still only 2 months old. It's still a baby. We're learning, we're growing, we're trying our best. And yes, I just appreciate all the patience. Thank you guys for being so understanding. Thank you for being so incredibly patient. And yeah, episode 15 was wild. We saw Misa get arrested. We also saw her relinquish the Death Note to Light, which makes me think that that is going to come up again, that potentially Light is going to relinquish the Death Note, but maybe hide like a piece of the Death Note in his pocket or something, or like in his shoe. I mean, shoe would probably be the best option, because like your pockets can be searched, but nobody really wants to like search your stinky shoes. So I think he's going to hide a piece of the Death Note. He's going to accidentally touch it and get all his memories back. But now that we know that you can relinquish control and lose your memories, I think that's what he's going to do in order to like trick the investigation into thinking that he's not Kira, because he's now going to be arrested in connection with Misa, because how could he not be? He's dating Misa, so they're going to investigate him, and that might lead to him being arrested. So I think what's going to end up happening is he's going to relinquish control, put a piece of the paper somewhere that he's going to pick it up unknowingly, just thinking it's trash, and then he's going to regain his memories after he's been cleared. Will he give Misa the Death Note back is the question. He might have to, because she doesn't have the Shinigami eyes now that she's relinquished control. She doesn't have the eyes anymore. So he may have no choice but to eventually give her back her Death Note, because without her eyes, he can't use her as a weapon. I don't know. I guess we're gonna see. I'm really excited to see how this plays out because it seems to really be ramping up now. And yeah, I'm curious as to how things are going to play out because the intensity is really ramping. There's a lot of there's a lot of parts in play, there's a lot of movement going on, and L seems to be fairly confident that he is ahead of Kira, but Light's not stupid, and I think he's going to have a way to wheel out of this because it's Light.
I hereby relinquish ownership of this Death Note.
Take care of her. You gave your word.
Wait, he relinquished control of Misa's Death Note to Rem?
Mr. Stalker? Hello, mister? Where are you right now? Do you think we could stop this game?
Huh? Stalker? Where'd you get that?
So maybe Rem's gonna give it back to Misa once
Just as I
Misa's
thought.
cleared.
As long as I still have Ryuk's notebook, even though I gave up Rem's, all awareness I have of Rem still remains.
Is this really what you want, Light?
Yeah.
Okay. I never thought the Death Note I gave you would end up buried and abandoned.
Listen, Ryuk. For the time being, I'm just hiding it, but it stays mine. Until the next time you hear me say the following words. Get rid of it. When I say that, regardless of the context, assume that I want to relinquish ownership of this Death Note.
Got it.
Like I said he was gonna do. Wow. So when he is going to be investigated, because he's going to be interrogated, because there's no way they're not going to interrogate him over his connection with Misa, he is going to use that code word and Ryuk is going to relinquish it. So did he just say that even though he relinquished control of the notebook, he still has memories of Rem? Like he still remembers Rem? I'm pretty sure he said something like that. Hold up a second. I'm just going to go back real quick because it was an interesting dynamic. Wait, okay. So what he's saying is that even though he's relinquished one Death Note because he has Ryuk's, he still knows about Rem, like still has the memories of Rem. Okay. I'm trying to think how that's going to play out inevitably. So he's buried his Death Note at the moment. And he's given a code word to Ryuk, which is Ryuk is to assume that should the word be said or the sentence, that he wants to relinquish his Death Note, which means he'll lose all memories of it. But now he's also lost all memories of Misa's Death Note because wait, maybe I'm confusing myself, but if he relinquishes his Death Note, he's not going to remember anything, which is fine, but he's not going to know where it's buried. Unless, again, he is going to use the technique of hiding a piece of paper and he'll be able to see Ryuk again. Or maybe he's trusting Ryuk to give him the Death Note back. I don't know. It's a little confusing. Maybe it'll make more sense as things play out, but I think the way that I was thinking it was going to happen was that he relinquishes his Death Note and keeps Misa's, because then at least then he won't have the memories of his Death Note, but he'll remember Ryuk, and then from there could have like worked his way back to getting Ryuk's Death Note. But maybe I've interpreted it wrong. I don't know. It was a little strange. That's not what I thought was going to happen. So he's going to have to work that into like a sentence in the interrogation or something. I think he's going to be at a point where like he's pushed to relinquish it. I just don't know how he's going to get it back.
When you apprehended Misa Amane, you made it clear that she was a suspect, am I correct?
Yes, like you told me.
She doesn't
First,
remember.
I blindfolded her and covered her mouth. I told her that we knew she was the second Kira. I made sure that she heard me. She didn't struggle when I put the blindfold and handcuffs on her. It was like she accepted it.
Before you passed out, you barely spoke, and you even asked me to kill you. And now you're claiming ignorance?
I don't understand. I mean, you're the one who knocked me out and then brought me here, remember? Wait, I get it. This is some kind of Misa Amane interrogation fantasy, right?
God, it's
Do you
kind
know
of
why
sick
the
that
team
that's
moved here?
what
You must
she
have some
like
idea.
expects because of her experience in life.
But you're definitely the first stalker who's ever gone this far, and you're starting to scare me.
Hey, Amane! No one's buying this, so cut it out!
Oh, this is scary. What's going on? I can't stand it anymore. Please let me go. You have to let me go. I need to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom again, okay?
It's only been 4 minutes since you last went to the bathroom. I'm afraid you'll have to hold it.
You have to. It's the only time you'll untie me and let me move. Plus, you'd be able to watch. Isn't that what you want? Isn't it? You pervert!
I'm a pervert? Amane, let's get back to the conversation we were
What?
having before.
I'm a pervert? It's almost like he's beginning to suspect that maybe he is. No, he's not. I've had a few comments that I found really interesting of people saying, "Oh, why'd you condemn Light, but you give Misa a free pass? She's just as bad." I just want to stress that I don't. And it's not because she's a girl before anybody wants to make that weird ass comment again. No, it has nothing to do with that. Misa is not innocent. I never said she was innocent. I just think Misa is very psychologically interesting. She has more of a motive and more of a reasoning for her behavior in a way that Light doesn't. If we think about Light's background, if we think about the opportunities that he has had, he is very privileged, very, very privileged. He has not known the same level of trauma and hardship that Misa has. Misa saw her parents get murdered. Misa nearly died herself at the hands of a stalker and his parasocial relationship with her. Even here, she's saying, I've had stalkers before, but never have gone this far. Meaning that her stalker interaction where she nearly died was not the last time that she has had a stalker. So if you remove the fact that Misa is a girl and you look in depth at her as a character, you will see that it's easier to justify Misa's need to protect herself and Misa's use of the Death Note as a way to secure her protection in a world that's already tried to kill her numerous times, compared to Light, who is using it to stoke his own ego and his god complex. Misa is by no means innocent, and I'm never going to sit here and say that she is innocent and that what she does is justified, because it's not. Just in the same way that Light's behavior is not justified. The difference being is, and I've noticed this, that the same people who praise Light, who idolize Light, condemn Misa. If you can praise it in Light, who's a man, but you can't praise it in Misa as a woman, it very much comes down to a misogyny issue and not at all to do with the fact that both of them are evil, because you would condemn them both. I condemn them both. I just think Misa, psychologically speaking, is more fascinating because of the trauma she's witnessed and how her trauma has led to her using the Death Note and how she uses it as a way to protect herself. This is not the first time the show has brought up the fact that women are subjected to violence, that women are subjected to gendered violence, that this trauma can have an impact on how we interact with the world. And I think that's a very interesting part of Misa, is that she is a traumatized young woman who has had her parents murdered, has nearly been killed herself by a stalker, has to navigate this world where creepy men make judgments about her because of her modeling pictures, that they create these fantasies that they want to enact on her, and she is forced to navigate the world knowing that she's being overly sexualized, that she is being fantasized about, and that could result in violence if she rejects people like that. So the Death Note for her is a way of actually protecting herself. It's a way of securing her existence in the world without the threat of death. Light has never experienced that, so I don't think it's comparable. I don't think their use of Death Note can be compared to one another. Neither are innocent, but I definitely would say that Misa has more of a justification for her use of the Death Note than Light ever will have. I wanted to get that off my chest because I had a few very, very weird comments about me liking Misa more than Light and how it was because she's a girl and because I'm a feminist. And it's like, okay. And I like her because she's psychologically complex. I like her because I find her backstory intriguing. I like how the story is touching on gendered violence. I like how the story is showing us the different ways in which people use the Death Note. It's called engaging with media instead of seeing it as Light is good because he's a man and Misa's dumb because she's a girl. Like, maybe think a little bit more deeper into it than just presuming that people only like Misa because she's a girl, or maybe taking into account her backstory, maybe taking into account the trauma she's witnessed, maybe engage with the show beyond like a surface level.
First of all, do you know who Light Yagami is? And if so, why did you approach him?
Huh? What do you mean? How could I not know my own boyfriend?
She was so tight-lipped about it earlier, and now she's openly admitting he's her boyfriend?
Are you saying my son's coming here?
Yeah. Of course he is. He's connected to who they think is second Kira. Is he gonna ham up the caring
Like I
boyfriend?
said over the phone, I could be Kira.
No, Light! What are you talking about? Why would you even say something like that? Why?
What?
There's no real proof that Light Yagami is Kira, so why come here to announce that you could be Kira? It's an act. There's no
Yeah.
crudity about it. You are Kira.
We know Elle's never been wrong before.
What are you saying, Light? Stop this!
What about that FBI agent, Ray Pember? It was me he was investigating immediately before he died.
Is he trying to be like, oh, I'm Kira, but I don't remember doing anything?
If I were in Elle's place, even I would have come to the same conclusion. You see, subconsciously, I might be Kira. If that were the case, I could be him and not even know it.
You little emotional
I
manipulator.
see. So you're not conscious of it, huh?
Another me could be killing people as I sleep.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Yeah.
Not possible, what do you mean?
Well, I never mentioned this to you, but at one point I had hidden surveillance cameras installed in your room for 5 days.
Cameras?
Yes.
Cameras?
Every single night, you slept normally. But this didn't prove your innocence to me. All it proved was that if you were Kira, no amount of camera surveillance would reveal that fact.
Wouldn't reveal that fact, huh? I don't know, it could be true. I have to admit, I've found myself thinking
He slipped up a
some
little
criminals
there.
deserve to die. If I
He slipped up a little there. He was playing this like emotional wheedling act with his dad that he knows his dad's gonna buy. And then he went, could it be a fact, huh? And it's, how is nobody in this room of investigators being like, why is your tone shifting? Body language is a thing. Jeez, guys, get your game together.
think like Kira, then how can I be sure that I'm not actually him?
Hold on, Light. I feel exactly the same way. I found myself thinking before that some
Oh my
people would
God.
be better off dead. But still, that doesn't mean we're gonna go out and kill people. Isn't that right?
Well, no. Because we were short of investigators then, we only watched him while he was at home. Truth is, we weren't able to watch him every hour of the day.
I like the
It's
way you
possible he could have
think.
found some way to kill those criminals while he wasn't at home.
Exactly.
This was premeditated. It's no accident you chose to do this now. Well, what if we incarcerate you for a while? Imprison you like we did Amane? If
No.
criminals whose names are made public keep dying, Then it would lead us to think that you're innocent, right?
Because he's already written names in the book, though, hasn't he? In advance for things like these. He said it before.
I need you to fully restrain Light Yagami and place him in solitary confinement.
What?
And they're
You
still
can't.
going to die
You want
because
us
he
to
already has it,
confine
like,
him? Seriously?
planned
If we're gonna
out in
do this, then it has
advance.
to happen immediately. From this point on, you can't be allowed to go anywhere where I can't see you.
This is crazy. There's no way my son could be Kira. My son's not capable of.
It's okay, Dad.
Yes, he is.
Stop this, Light.
As long as I'm having these doubts, I can't work with you to catch
It's
Kira.
parents like this that are the
Ryuzaki,
issue.
Promise me this. Until you can say with absolute certainty that I'm not Kira, you cannot set me free, no matter what I might
Ones
say
that
or
think
what
their kids
conditions
could
I
do
might be in.
nothing wrong.
You have my word. Mr. Yagami, can you come up with some sort of excuse for Light's absence? Something to tell your family? And please do it now.
But this is all so sudden. What should I say? And I see no reason why he should be in prison.
He's
Let
on
it go.
holiday.
If I
he's
don't do
gone.
this,
He's
I
gone
won't
on
be
a
able to
trip
live
to
with my son.
Europe.
But son, do you really mean that?
Yeah, I believe that by giving up my very freedom, I'll defeat this fear that Kira lurks within me.
God dang it. God dang it. If you lose the Death Note or have it stolen, you will lose its ownership unless you retrieve. Okay. But it's not the same if you relinquish it.
So, I
There
guess
we go.
apples are out of the question.
Ryuzaki, I'd like to request that you take me off this investigation.
Chief, no.
I've thought about it, and the fact is that we're holding my son Light as a prime suspect. Given that, it's not appropriate for me to be here.
No, it's a conflict of
When we spoke
interest.
earlier, my feelings got in the way. It's impossible for me to be objective in this
Yeah.
situation.
I think he's making
I
the
agree
right
with
call.
you. We can't let personal feelings get in the way.
If the task force concludes that my son is Kira, I don't know what I'd be capable of.
Yes, I'll agree with you there. To be honest, I wondered what you might do. I believe you'd kill your son and then yourself.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's extreme.
I will ask that you confine me as well. At the moment, I'm calm. But to be honest, I'm not sure how much more of this I can take.
I thought you might say that, so I spoke with Watari. He's made arrangements.
Okay. 2 steps ahead again.
Hey, mister, I really want to take a bath. I'm pretty sure you already
This is
know where I
really
live, don't you?
sad.
Bring me some clean clothes.
I didn't think this could get any more bizarre.
I
Yeah.
feel so sorry for the chief right now.
So do I.
Have any new criminals been identified? Anyone that Kira would be likely to target?
Why would he tell
If
him
so,
that
have you killed any of
information,
them?
though?
In fact, quite a few criminals' names have been broadcast recently. But since you've been detained, we haven't had one report of a criminal being killed by Kira.
Wait, no one's been killed? Really?
Yikes.
I see. So it's only a matter of time before I'm convicted as Kira.
What I wouldn't give for an apple.
Ryuk's like, I really don't give a shit about this. I just want an apple.
Light
Hmm.
asked to be confined in the first place. If this continues, it'll only strengthen the argument that he is Kira.
I thought he wrote names in advance, though.
It's not like Light Yagami. No, it's not like Kira.
Interesting. Okay.
In the end, I just have to get through this, no matter what.
You know what, Mr. Stalker? Your video won't sell if it's just me sitting here the whole time.
How long
Mr.
have they
Yagami looks
been
pretty bad. I think
in
he's taking this
confinement?
harder than Light or Misa.
Well, what do you
Mm,
expect? It's been 5 days since Light was put in prison.
5 days.
And look, not a single criminal whose name has been broadcast was killed. In these situations, I think the parents must suffer a lot more than the accused.
No kidding. Especially now that we're seeing proof that Light is Kira.
Mr. Yagami,
What is it? Is it good news? Is it bad news?
He's losing
no,
it.
I
You
wanted
need to let
tell
him
you not
out.
to worry so much. It doesn't matter how much time you devote to worrying about this. The outcome will be the same.
The state I'm in now, this is the best place for me. And no matter what the result, when I leave here, it's going to be with my son.
I think his dad's gonna end up having another bloody heart attack at this point.
Light, you've only been here for 1 week, but I'm sure it can't be easy. Are you feeling all right?
Now that I've come this far, I think it's about time.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, I know I must look pretty bad in here, but this useless pride, I suppose I'll have to.
Have to get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Huh?
I was wondering how he was gonna, like, fit that into a sentence, but there we go. He's not gonna remember anything now.
Got it. Later.
Later. I love Ryuk so freaking much.
I realized that I was the one pushing for confinement and that I asked you to put me in here, but I just realized something important. This whole thing's completely pointless.
Huh?
Because I'm not Kira.
You have to get me out of here! Do you really think a serial killer like Kira could commit those crimes without being aware of them? If I have no memory of his crimes, I'm not him!
But that doesn't change the fact that all the evidence points to you being Kira. Since we imprisoned you, Kira hasn't committed a single murder.
I am not Kira! I must have been framed. That's the only explanation for this.
What's wrong with you, Light Yagami? What you're saying is completely absurd.
Are they gonna interrogate them, or are they just gonna keep them locked up?
You have to let me out! We're wasting time!
We can't let you out yet.
Damn! Why is this happening?
You requested it!
Well, we can't release him now that the murders have stopped. It doesn't matter what he says. I mean, even I know that much.
Anyway, I don't care what anyone says. As far as I'm concerned, we have all the proof we need.
I just heard 2 weeks worth of criminals were just murdered all at once. It happened yesterday.
Yeah, Kira is back.
He's preemptively planned this. Like, he's written the dates.
Kira started killing again.
What?
It looks like Kira was only resting, but now he started punishing criminals again.
Then that means my son. I shouldn't be happy that people have been killed, but at least Light's name will finally be cleared. Wait, knowing Ryuzaki, this won't be enough to clear him.
He has no choice. Like, there's not really much that he can do.
I'm sure as grays go, he's a shade closer to being cleared. Let's tell Light.
Matsuda! I mean, please don't, Mr. Matsuda. We shouldn't tell him about this.
Yes.
But why not?
Because you're jumping the gun.
You've been in here just over 2 weeks and not a single new criminal has been punished. Now, why make this harder than it has to be? Are you ready to confess?
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm telling you, you're wrong. I understand why you feel that way, but even if the evidence does point to me, I swear to you, this is a setup. I am not Kira! You tell me, do these look like the eyes of someone who is lying?
Amani, are you ready to tell me who Kira is or not?
Huh? That again? I wish I knew, but I don't. Because if I did, I'd thank him for punishing the burglar who killed my parents. To me, Kira is a hero.
She hasn't let that slip before, has she,
I
to him?
don't understand what's going on here.
I don't either. Because, unfortunately, they're playing psychological supernatural games, and there's no possible way that L could have predicted this was going to happen. I feel so sorry for him, because how is he supposed to know? Now Light has relinquished all control of the Death Note, he doesn't remember a thing, which means he looks completely innocent, even though we know he's not. It's incredibly smart. It is incredibly intelligent. I'm wondering if, so he's written the deaths in the Death Note, and now I'm wondering, did he schedule them for exactly 2 weeks from incarceration? Because he obviously planned to be incarcerated. He planned it. He knew when he was going to be incarcerated. Like, from the day, he knew he was going to be incarcerated. So I'm wondering if he's either planned it for like 2 weeks from that date. So the first week makes him look incredibly guilty, and then the second week he looks less guilty because all of a sudden people start dying again. So it looks almost like he's scheduled it. Or when he relinquished the Death Note, did they all die because they were written before he relinquished and they had to be fulfilled. I'm not sure how that necessarily works. I think it said in one of the little infographics in this episode is like, once the death is written, the death will be enacted. It cannot be stopped and it cannot be changed. I guess the only people that can do that is the Shinigamis because they have more power, so they're able to actually prevent deaths from happening. But I think once somebody writes the name in the death note, like, it is going to happen regardless. So even if he relinquished his death note, those deaths would still be valid. They would still be enacted. Or when he relinquished it, they had to be enacted anyway because he relinquished it and it was what he wrote last. I don't know. But there's no way he can keep them in. He's going to have to clear Light and by extension Misa because neither of them remember what they've been doing, and if there's no evidence, you can't hold them. You can't arrest them without evidence, and that's the issue. There's no evidence. I'm surprised it took Light's dad till now to kind of be like, this is a conflict of interest because his son's been a suspect for like a while now. Though it's quite extreme that he's like, yeah, either way, I'm leaving with my son. And it's kind of like, what, in like a body bag situation or like a live situation? Probably what he means is like, whether dead or alive, I'm leaving here with my son. So like, if his son ended up dying, he would die as well. It kind of makes sense. Like, I kind of understand because how could you as a father live with the fact that your son is a mass serial killer? Like, it would be near on impossible. So I get it. I get it. But oh my God, I feel like I've hit a point in the show where it's become really difficult to kind of suspect what's going to happen next because the supernatural elements are the harder parts for me to theorize about, whereas the more realistic elements I am okay with. So like the fact that he is going to have to be released because they can't hold him indefinitely because they have no evidence. In terms of the Death Note being buried and him now having relinquished control, again, I think it's going to come down to him having hidden a piece of the Death Note and that he's eventually going to stumble across it, he's going to touch it, and he's going to regain his memories of RYUK and know where the Death Note's buried and be able to get it back up. We know that he only needs a piece of paper. And it's as simple as putting a piece of paper in like a drawer and then opening that drawer and your fingers like brushing against it. It's that simple. And I think he will have already premeditated how to get his memories of the Death Note back because it's Light. There's just no way that Light is going to completely give up the Death Note. Like, we know that for a fact. That's just never going to happen. So he will have already plotted a way to get it back. I really want to watch the next episode. So I'm really sorry for the really short outro. I have to watch the next episode. I need to see how this progresses and how this goes because it's getting really tense and really exciting. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!